point this out because I am tired. I am so tired of Jasmine Crockett. I'm tired. I am so tired of Jasmine Crockett, very beautiful black sister in Congress for the state of Texas. But my only question is, what is she doing? She's dancing. Now, her whole spiel against Marjorie Taylor Greene, a lot of us applauded that, speaking truth to power, basically calling her out. But since then, she has just been a stigma in the black community. You would think that her speaking up, her and Cory Booker doing a telethon. Cory Booker did a telethon. He just speaking. He talked for like 25 hours. All this is just symbolism. But when it comes to Jasmine Crockett, she goes viral because of the things she say, not the things she do. Why is this story right here so important? The Department of Agriculture reported that there were roughly 46,000 producers who identify as black. So totaling 3.4 million producers. So there are black farmers in America, and they do not receive any recognition for what they do, what they have accomplished, and what they have been through generationally. Why do I point this out with Jasmine Crockett? Jasmine Crockett, Jasmine Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. On some things, wow, I think she should tailor her speeches. You can't be like a Donald Trump who rarely reads his teleprompters. Jasmine Crockett needs to be censored, in my opinion. Freedom of speech. When I mean censored, I mean have her public speeches doctored so she knows exactly what the hell she's talking about. 46,000 producers who identified as black, representing 3.4 million producers. So, Jasmine Crockett. Oh, boy.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right. We are not a country of immigrants. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this talking point that we are a country of immigrants. We have a lot of immigrants in America, but we are not a country of immigrants. We are a country that was started by genocide, murder, trickery, scams, fraud. We are a country of European colonizers, enslaved African descendants who are Black Americans today. We are a country of Native Americans, indigenous folk who are indigenous to the land, who have black color hue skin as well as red color hue skin. People who were here even before the European colonizers arrived in 1526. We are a country of three major groups: indigenous, Native Americans who have been here before European colonizers, who look like me and the typical red Native Americans. We are a country, are enslaved descendants of Africans, known as foundational Black Americans, that coincides with the Black Native Americans. And thirdly, European colonizers and their descendants. That is the country that we live in. Later, we became a country of immigrants where Irish, Chinese, Asian, all the Hispanics, all these other groups came over. And don't forget, when I speak about Native Americans, we understand that if you date back, I don't know the exact year, because when you look at the genotype and the phenotype of Hispanic and or Latino, they are a different mixture of different people. When you look at Native Americans mixed with people from Spain who speak Spanish, you have certain Hispanics, and how certain Hispanics look white, certain Hispanics look brown, and you also have what they label as Afro-Hispanics. That is because the Spaniards pillaged and raped all these different countries and all these different people. So you have all these different colors of Hispanics. That's why the U.S. Census Bureau does not constitute Hispanics as a race. It's an ethnicity, because Hispanics, and I'll just give you an example, like a Nick Fuentes call himself white, because yes, there are white Hispanics, and then there are brown Hispanics, and yes, there are black Hispanics. There are black Mexicans. There are black people from the Dominican Republic. There are black people all across the different countries of Central America and South America. Because even in Brazil, they call them Latino, but there are black Brazilians, because the majority of African slaves, over 5 million of them, was actually taken to Brazil. So when we look at the different demographics in America, and someone tells me that we are a country of immigrants, yeah, we have a lot of immigrants in America, legal and illegal, but that is not how the country was founded. That is not the foundation of the people who were here before America was America, before 1776, before we got independence from the British. So when she comes up here and tells me that we're a country of immigrants, give us the full story, Jasmine, not just half the story. I'm just tired of that narrative. Let's be real about this. Let me back it up just a little bit, and I'm going to let it play out, because we're going to get on the black farmers.
What immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
Okay, if we are a country, I thought I was going to let it play, but if we are a country of immigrants, are you an immigrant, Jasmine? I don't know her background. I would like to believe that she's a black American through and true, a foundational black American. I would like to believe that. But is she an immigrant? That's the question that I have.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. Ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
She just stated that none of us are trying to go and farm right now. That's what Jasmine Crockett said. Well, who the hell is this? The National Black Farmers Associations, representing black farmers and families across the United States. Who in the hell are the Black Farmers Associating? And they're circling George Washington Carver right there in the back, the dark-skinned man. And again, he developed a lot of the technology that farmers still use today to grow their crops. George Washington Carver is famous for peanuts, but he should be famous for farming. He should be famous for soybean. He should be famous for plastic. That is why he should be famous. But what is Jasmine Crockett talking about? Is Jasmine Crockett a foundational black American? Has her family been here for generations on generation? Who are these people in a lab? This is George Washington Carver's lab of him advancing technology in farming. 105 ways of preparing the human consumption, the peanut. The Black Farmers and Family Association, again, and this is not to denigrate our sister, but I'm just trying to find out, what is she talking about? What is Jasmine Crockett referring to? Talking about none of us want to go to farm. We have a National Black Farmers Association. I thought she would know that. Okay, this time I'm going to let it play through.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton.
Okay, we're done picking cotton, and that was a red flag. I thought I was gonna let it play through, but I really have to show you guys this, because it's utterly important that we understand this. Let me refresh this page so I can show you guys exactly what I'm referring to. Now, this is the page for the National Black Farmers Association. And this black farmer here that you see on your screen, he's kind of been the face of the black farmers that you guys will see. You'll be familiar with his face when they show it. But I just want you guys to look at the imagery that they're showing about black farmers and the amount of land that they have, the crops that they produce for America. I'm going to let this go for a minute here because there's something I want to say, but I want you guys to focus. I want you guys to please focus on the crops that you'll see here on your television screen. Because the black farmers in the United States have experienced significant land loss over the past century due to a combination of systematic discrimination, as well as legal challenges and economic pressures. And there's a lot of key factors that contribute to this, that really contribute to the decline of black farmers in America. The United States Department of Agriculture has a documented history of denying black farmers equal access to loans, subsidies, and technical assistance. Black farmers matter, do they not? You see it on your screen. So what in the hell is Jasmine Crockett talking about that black people don't want to farm? We have black farmers. And if we have a documented history of being denied loans and equal access to funding, that tells me that black people wanted to farm. And this discrimination hinders our ability to sustain and expand our farms, leading to financial instability and in many cases forced sales of the farmland that black people have in America. Do you guys recall the class action lawsuit, Pigford versus Glickman in 1999, that really highlighted a lot of the injustices that we receive here in America, resulting in a settlement acknowledging the USDA's discriminatory practices? We haven't even touched on Harris property challenges because many black landowners pass down property without formal wills, resulting in Harris property, that land's jointly owned by their descendants. And this form of ownership often led to legal complication, making the land vulnerable to partition sales and exportation by developers or speculators. And of course, the USDA, they have identified Harris property as a leading cause of involuntary land loss amongst black farmers. What does that tell you? Billions of acres of land have been lost due to Harris property of black farmers. So what in the hell is Jasmine the Crockett is talking about? Because throughout history, black farmers have faced racially motivated violence and intimidation aimed at disposing them of their land. Incidents such as lynchings and threats forced many to abandon their properties, contributing to the decline in black-owned farmland. What is she talking about? We have limited access to markets coupled with discriminatory lending practices. This is why the face of the black farmers, as you've seen early on in the broadcast, why he went to Washington, why he was with President Donald Trump. Because a lot of these discriminatory lending practices place black farmers at an economic disadvantage. And these challenges made it difficult to compete with white farmers who had better access to resources and support, leading to financial hardships and land loss. We don't even want to get on federal and state policies, including the use of eminent domain, which have disproportionately affected black landowners. Land was often seized for development projects without fair compensation, further reducing black-owned farmland. They say, well, there's a white farm right here, 2 farms down there's a black farm. Let's put a highway through that black farm. Let's do eminent domain through that black farm because we are advancing America. How much is that black farmland? Oh, it appraised at $1.5 million. Okay, let's give them $500,000. Disproportionately affected black landowners because they didn't receive fair compensation. So they couldn't go and buy another farm. They couldn't go and buy another land. And what we have to understand, this is the face of black farmers right here. I know you guys are familiar with his face. But these interconnected factors have resulted in a dramatic decrease in black-owned farmland. And just to kind of give you guys some numbers here, from approximately 16 million acres in 1910, black farmers had 16 million acres in 1910 to about 2.9 million acres in 2017. So when we address their issues, it requires comprehensive legal, economic, as well as political reforms to support black farmers and prevent further land loss. So I absolutely have no idea. I have no idea what Jasmine Crockett is referring to. I have no idea. And she stated something about picking cotton, as if black farmers don't have cotton farms. We do. Black farmers have cotton farms. But again, Jasmine Crockett gets up on her podium and asks the question, which one of you black folk want a farm? What about the black farmers? What about the black farmers? I believe they want a farm. They also had a picture of this gentleman here in the midst of a cotton farm, which is still a huge commodity here in America. We still have cotton farms, but most of the cotton farms are done by machines. But Jasmine Crockett states that, which one of you want to go and farm? If there was equal access to loans, to subsidies, then I believe there's a lot more black people who would farm. And guess what our food would be? Anybody know? Guess what our food would be? Organic, non-GMO, no pesticides, no herbicides, no harmful fertilizer. It would be all natural. Think about that. It would be all natural. Yeah, the price would be a little, more than a lot of these canned foods and boxed foods. But I think America would be a lot healthier if they would allow the same opportunities for other farmers that they do here in America. But Jasmine Crockett gets up on her podium in Congress speaking to black people as if we have never farmed before. Like Hispanics and Latinos and white folk are the only people farming. And when I mean by farming, and when I say Caucasians, I'm referring to them owning the farm, not stating that they're farming, that they're actually sharecroppers. Lord have mercy. Jasmine Crockett, on some issues, she really needs to stop. She really needs to be quiet because she has no idea the history of black Americans in this country. And even in present day. They did a whole special on black farmers as if we are a misnomer, like we're obsolete, like we don't exist. We do exist. We have black farmers. But according to what she said, according to what Jasmine Crockett said, and the people are really calling her out because she's just talking.
Ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I know that's right. So I had to go around.
Lord, I'm so confused. Whoever believes what Jasmine Crockett is doing and what she's saying, supports and help the Black community, please raise your hand. Please leave it in the chat. Please leave it in the comment section. She is not helping Black Americans at all. She's, if anything, making Black Americans look stupid. And she only is representing herself. She's not representing Blacks in Texas. She's not representing Blacks in California. She's not representing Blacks in New Hampshire. She's not representing any Black people that I know. She's representing herself and the stupidity that she shows. You are in a small group where Black people are in attendance, and you make this monolithic statement to people who may not want to farm. Have you talked to the vast majority of Black folk and asked, would they like to start a farm, buy a farm? Would they like to farm? Because there's been reports, and I know you guys seen it all across social media, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, X, also known as Twitter, of people starting their own farms in their backyards. What if you had the ability to, if you love farming, if you love planting, if you love growing, to do that very same thing on a very large scale and have that to make your way of life? Why couldn't that be such a thing? I'm just not understanding a lot of the people who look like you and I saying the things that they say, as if we don't have a vast history in America of doing the very same thing she is downplaying like we don't do. I digress.